After over a decade in the industry, I've noticed a pattern that holds a lot of people back, probably more than anything else. That's comparing themselves to others. We're all guilty of it. I know I for sure am. When you're scrolling, watching other artists' work, wondering why you're not at their level, or wondering why they're getting opportunities that you want. But here's what took me years to understand. You've got to stop looking at them like competition. You've got to look at them as proof of what's possible. When you watch something that moves you, you've got to stop asking yourself, why can't I make something this good? You have to start asking yourself, what specifically makes this effective? To get to that level, you have to learn how to objectively study and break it down. Then take notes on it and make it your own. There's been times through my career where I've tried to mimic other artists' styles, whether it was their techniques or maybe their gear, but that's like trying to hit a moving target. But growth really started happening when I shifted from external comparison to internal competition. You have to start competing with yourself. Here's how you do it. After every project, sit down, reflect, and find one thing you can improve on next time. Sometimes it's technical. Maybe lighting could be more intentional or a camera setup could be more efficient. Other times it might be soft skills, better communication on set, better direction on set, or maybe better pre-production planning. This approach really changed how I view other artists' work. Instead of being intimidated by success, I try to use it as an opportunity to learn. When I see an interesting camera movement, I don't try to copy it exactly. I ask myself how I could fit those same techniques to my own style and gear. When I see effective storytelling, I really study and break down the story arc. How can I apply some of those principles to my future projects? You've got to always keep it in mind that behind every piece of art that you love, there's hours of experimentation, failure, and learning that artist had to go through. That artist that you love, they're still learning too. Of course, they still make mistakes and they have days where nothing goes according to plan. But the big difference is they've learned to compete with themselves, not just others. Just like everyone else, you have to remember that your journey is unique. Your perspective, your experiences, the way you see the world, those are assets, not limitations. So rather than making your work fit someone else's mold, make your own and focus on making at least one small improvement on every project. I want to emphasize that. Those are the two big takeaways. Focus on finding at least one thing you can do better after each project and start competing with yourself. I suggest that you start small. Take 5 minutes after your next shoot and reflect. What went well? What could have gone better? Maybe you need to reorganize your camera bag, or create a client questionnaire, or maybe practice camera movement. Pick one thing and make that your focus for improvement. And honestly, this mindset isn't just about creating better work. It's about building and maintaining a sustainable career. When you stop measuring your worth against others and start measuring it against your own growth, you'll start to notice that your work is not only better, but more authentic. People can tell and they'll resonate with that. Your voice matters, your perspective matters, and your journey matters. So watch other people's work and get inspired by it. But remember, your next breakthrough will only come from pushing your own boundaries. I think that's it for this video, and I appreciate you being here. I'm sharing my journey and what I've learned along the way. If you like this video and want to continue growing together, consider subscribing. This is just the beginning of the conversation.